morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, depending on when you're watching this, or indeed if you're watching this at all. So this is our first assembly, our first check-in after the Easter holidays. I said that we were going to do these kind of quite regularly, and of course you'd usually have an assembly at the start of a new term. So welcome back. I hope you've had a safe and enjoyable Easter holiday, but it really is back to work today. So at the end of last term, I talked to you about the importance of making sure you keeping going, keeping your rhythm going of your learning, and not wasting of the talent. So I sent something out, actually Mr. Ryan found it yesterday from the Education Endowment Foundation, which had a really good structured way of kind of mapping out your day and mapping out your week to make sure that you're doing a range of things over the week. And so I kind of thought to myself, well, you know, we're asking students to do these things, but are the teachers doing these things as well? So I've actually made my own list here, and what I very quickly want to do is kind of go through the list that we sent out this morning of how you kind of structure a day, structure your week, and to see whether I'm kind of practicing what I preach, whether I'm doing those things as well. So excuse my very poor video skills for this, but let's see how we do. So the first thing we've got here on our list is waking up in good time on the Bergin week, okay? So this morning I got up about 7 o'clock. Yeah, that's possibly a little early for some of you, but let's make sure, please, that you're getting up rather than, you're not going to bed at 5 and getting up at 12, that you're going to bed in good time and getting up at some good time as well. So the next bit on there then is I did some exercise. So we can see here, there's one thing that's given me some exercise today. So I've already given the dog a walk. As you can see, she definitely clearly enjoyed that walk. And then obviously I'm thinking about my essential exercise that I'm allowed to take every day. So we've got my off-road bike here and my road bike here, which have been very sensibly used within the guidelines, of course, over the last few weeks or so every day. Okay, so the next thing then we've got is enjoying some reading in a quiet space. Okay, we're going to the kitchen, which tends to be a quiet space. So I've got my academic book here. So really important, I think, that we continue to kind of be thinking academically about what we're doing. When the adults change, everything changes. And then on here, because I'm very exciting in my technology. Oops, sorry, hang on. There you go, fantastic. Okay, so I've also got an audio book going, the Margaret Atwood book, the Testaments, the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale. So I've got my reading sorted out there, I've got my exercise sorted out. What's next on the list? So the next thing on the list is I completed some schoolwork in my workspace. Now, I haven't got an office, it would be nice if I did. So I've got the dining room, and you can see here that I've got my iPad there, I've got my computer there, okay, so, and I've got my list of things to do here. So I've got a bit of fruit there, making sure I'm staying healthy as I do my work, but I've completed some work today in my workspace. I've probably done about 4 hours work, okay, which is possibly slightly more than you need to do, but is important, okay. I did some chores, okay, so firstly, obviously, I'm not going to let you see the usual wreck that our house is in, so I gave it a bit of a tidy, and you can also see here, a nice marinating chicken that we're going to have for tea, okay, so I've done some chores there, so I feel good about that. Make sure you're doing that as well. I contacted some friends, so I've got lots of things going on at the moment in terms of friends, and you need to make sure that you do as well. So, just let me unlock my iPad. So one thing that I'm doing is a album club, for instance, with some group of people at work, and we are looking at the album Closing Time by Tom Waits this week, and I'm also in a book club and a film club and things like that. So making sure we have lots of interaction with friends is really important. The next thing is I spent some time being creative. So I would say that this video counts as my creativity for the day, but that's really important. And someone told me that I'd done well, and that is such an important piece of your day as well, that when you are working well, doing your schoolwork really well, that somebody praises you for it. And oh gosh, look, I can't believe it. It's a little embarrassing that this message was there for me on the screen. So somebody has told me I'm doing well today, so that's lovely. So just to sum up, okay? Please, we know that lots of people have signed into Google Classrooms. We know that you're doing work, but you need to keep a structure in that day, okay? We've spent lots of time thinking about the work that you've been given to do to make sure it's not something that is completely alien to you or new to you, but it's developing on the work that you've got. But it has to fit within the structure of a day when you're doing lots of other interesting things as well within the confines and within the rules of the lockdown that we're under. Okay, so welcome back everyone. It's really lovely to see you all back. And I'm hoping that you are keeping as safe as I am and as active as I am. And I will speak to you all in a couple of weeks. Okay, thank you very much.